Smile. Breathe. And just remember, it's too late to get out of it, so you might as well go on.
Do you ever get the feeling that people are incapable of not caring?
You know, I'm screwed up and average enough that I could write a song that'll live on forever. And then after that, it don't matter. I am the king of gay chickens.
No, seriously, what the fuck?
Honestly, you're in a memory in your subconscious.
Fuck! Seriously?
I don't know what you've been told, little lady, but the rest of us start at 9. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Good morning.
Hey, Benny! Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river!
Is it gonna be like this all the time?
Yeah.
Have you clocked Mario yet? Got that speed running?
I'm at 119 stars.
Dude, how many are there?
120.
Dude, how
And
do you know where it is?
Yeah, I'm saving I decided I'll do the last Bowser fight last.
Okay.
So it's 1 star on the last Bowser fight.
Okay.
But it's 100 coins on Rainbow Ride. Do you remember this?
No, I haven't played that game specifically in 20 years.
I've got to get 100 coins on Rainbow Ride. And to do that, you have to do wall kicks. You know how you pound to get the blue coins?
Yep.
You got to pound and do like 6 sequential wall kicks up this passageway to get up to where those coins are. If you don't get those coins, there aren't 100 coins in the level.
Oh, okay.
And I'm really bad at the wall kicks.
Yep.
So I'm just grinding out, trying to get this wall kick thing done to get this last star.
Is it because you
I'm
have
not
to
certain.
jump off of something first and then start the wall kicks? And could you do it can you do more wall kicks if you fuck up one of them?
No, you fuck one up, you just fall back down.
Okay.
So you got to get it right 6 times within, and it's a short. Like after you pound, it's really short. So yeah, if you fuck up once, you just have to kill yourself and start the level again.
The level.
Well, yeah, because that's the only way you can refresh the blue coins. You only get 1 go,
Yep.
so it's quite annoying. I don't even want to just exit the level because then you come back right at the bottom of the castle, and it's right the way at the top of the castle. So I have to keep getting lives so that I can kill myself to restart and jump back in quickly. Man. It's a real night. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not certain I can get it. And I had to stop playing the other day because I've got a Nintendo 64 injury.
You've got a repetitive stress.
I've got a repetitive stress injury. And I haven't been playing it that much. I play an hour and a half maybe every few days.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy.
Which is what I think, I understand people love video games, but a couple of hours every couple of days has always been enough for me.
Yeah, and then you really feel like you need to.
Yeah, but sometimes you'll obviously, because I love stories so much, sometimes I will find a game and binge the fuck out of it like I'm watching a movie or a series.
You want to know
what
happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Mario games. Nothing happens.
You're just doing stuff.
Nothing happens.
And crushing turds.
Yeah, things happen in the same way things happen in a dream.
Crushing turds.
Yeah. You know, in a dream being ooh, this plot's really getting going. It's just random shit happening all the time.
But in a dream, though, the plot does get going. And that plot is random shit sometimes.
Sometimes.
But I'm captivated. And when you wake up, you're always depressed. You're oh.
Do you have good dreams?
I can't remember having a nightmare in the last 15 years.
Wow.
Before
that you did?
Well, I wouldn't call it a nightmare, but I remember one specific recurring dream that happened while I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the city that we live in.
Yep.
Was
Which one's that? You'll never know.
Covered by a flood.
Uh-huh.
And
see, now that's just memories.
Me and... Well, this was both floods.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Me and every time it was a different group of people, whoever I was close with at the time, were on a sort of adventure through the flood to get to safety or whatever it was, and there were crocs in the flood. No one ever got et.
Okay.
So I don't know why it was I wouldn't call it a nightmare, but it was just a
that's
heightened
not really...
genre of something going on.
Yeah, it's not a night. It's a thriller.
Yeah, it was a disaster. It was a disaster dream.
It's a disaster dream. Yeah, you don't have horror dreams.
No,
I do sometimes.
That sucks, man.
Yeah,
Falling.
I think my watching of films has completely dictated how my dreams work. Like I will, having just said nothing ever happens in dreams, I do dream in movie plot style a lot of the time. There's twists and turns sometimes. I'm like, oh, who would have seen that coming?
I can remember them being captivating, and then often, like most of the time, you forget about it straight away. Like sometimes you can remember your dream and like, that was a good dream last night. I had a fun time.
Just reflect fondly.
Yeah. But then other times you remember the feeling that it gave you. Like, yeah, that was a great dream.
Yeah.
I can't remember a goddamn thing that happened. That's enough of that.
There's a chihuahua in the room, ladies and gentlemen. You might hear a little bit of unnecessary noise.
It's all necessary.
Because she has to express feelings.
She has many feelings.
I mean, they're not justified feelings, but she's having them. And, who amongst us? I'll dream I've killed people quite often.
And you're slowly getting away with it? Or
Well, it's sometimes, not very often, but I just know it's happened a few times. And on one level, I think, maybe I'm secretly crazy because I keep dreaming about having murdered people. But then I'm like, no, it's okay, because in the dream, I'm always horrified by it. And like the premise of the dream is, oh my God. Or like it just happens like accidentally. It takes you a minute to realize, and I'm like, oh
that you've
shit.
killed some. Wait,
and then like trying to get away with it.
Does
it just
the
feels
actual
awful.
murder take place in the dream?
Often not. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
don't dream about it's dreaming about having had killed someone.
Yeah.
And having to figure out what to do
And
about
that
it.
panic and that
Yeah.
this will. I think we've talked about it before. You never get away with murder.
We have talked about
Yeah.
it. There's no getting
'Cause,
away with it.
Yeah, you punish yourself forever.
Yeah. I feel bad now about having killed someone in my dream. So I guess that's a good thing.
It is a good thing to know that your dream has a conscience.
But I do dream horrifying things sometimes, and I know that's just because I'm seeing it in films. Like that's the only reason my brain has that raw data to draw from, is all these horror films I watch. So I'm actually fine and normal is what I'm saying. That's the takeaway there.
It's a good takeaway.
Seen Napoleon?
Not yet.
No, me neither.
What have you seen lately? I haven't been to the movies in a bit.
I've been hardly at all. It's been a real drought. I saw Dumb Money randomly.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's fine. I know it's like finance is not my world at all, but I know a bit about that sort of story.
Occurrence.
That series of occurrences.
The occurrency.
Yeah, nice.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, nice. Couldn't let that go by. From some YouTube videos, and probably like my favorite YouTuber would be Dan Olson, and he covers that a lot in like quite excruciating detail. And like I don't even follow a lot of what he's saying, but I just like listening to it. And so I think Dumb Money is good. It's a good portrayal, as far as I can tell, of what it is it's showing when they did the GameStop thing, but it's just an incomplete story. Okay. There's lots of other stuff going on. Like the main character that Paul Dano plays, the movie kind of ends with the end of his story and his withdrawal from the public eye. And big part of the reason for his withdrawal from the public eye was because of this cult-like following he was getting from people who were extrapolating the relatively sensible and understandable premise of shorting GameStop to make money, and extrapolating that into a sort of like doomsday cult around the ultimate destruction of the financial system that they could generate as a result of like posting on Reddit and being gamers. And so for me, that's a more interesting story. Whereas this is a little bit more
personable.
It's just like good guys, bad guys, little guys taking down the big guy, which is part of it. But there's
that's how everything
there's
starts.
more to it.
That's how everything starts. Just little guys taking on the big guy. And then those little guys end up being the big guy.
Well, then those little guys get weird with it.
Yeah, fucking weird with it.
And start, like Paul Dano's character, I forget the actual guy's name, he would post the most innocuous thing, and all these online gremlins are like trying to interpret what he really means by it. And like, because he doesn't...
It's the cult life.
Yeah, exactly. And so I love it.
Yeah, you want to be a part of it.
You know how much I love cults. Hearing about them. Not being in them.
Or starting them.
But
ending them.
I definitely... Yeah.
Yes.
I don't encourage it. But if I were to encourage it, it would be only because I would be confident I could end it. That's the only time I would do that. I'd be like, I'm going to encourage this cult a little bit,
We could reach out
just
to
for this
all
week,
all
so
of
that I
our
can bring the
follower.
hammer down.
We reach out to all of our follower,
Yeah.
and
Thank you
if
for listening,
they
Christine.
if they ever get in a cult, just know that we can help get you out.
If you listen to this podcast and you end up in a cult, that would be very interesting to me.
We will be very happy for
Because
you.
I just feel like our mentality and vibe is really in opposition to that. I don't know why I think that. I just because we're such bold, independent free thinkers, Isaac. And
trendsetters.
we say what no one else will say. Things like, "Have you seen Mrs. Winterbourne?"
I think a lot of people would say they have actually.
I think a lot of people have seen it since it came. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Exceptional Thieves. This is a podcast where Isaac and I review and rewrite movies. I'm Sam.
I am Isaac.
And this is the latest episode of our special series, Turns of Frase, where we review the many turns of Senor Frase. That's when we review the filmography of Brendan Fraser, the king of film. This week, it's quite a turn.
It's different. I'm not going to say it's a bad different.
I'll be honest, I thought this was going to be a boring one. I thought this week was going to be a boring week. It is not. It's one of the weird... And this is coming off The Passion of Darkly Noon.
I mean, I don't even think this is weird. I think this is just
this
TV love romance movie attempting to be comedy romance movie. Attempting the romance part.
I'd say it's a noir crime thriller attempting to be a Richard Curtis movie. And I guess succeeding as much as you can at that particular task. But before we go any further, have you seen any other good movies lately?
Not that I can think of.
Never mind the movies, you're not seeing any movies at all.
I've seen rare.
What about in your home theatre?
Yeah, I watched
On your home theatre
shit I've
sound
seen
system?
before.
Oh.
What have I watched? I watched a movie called Organ Trail,
Hell yeah, dude.
which, by the title and the poster, I thought it was going to be a horror set on the Oregon Trail, where people would go cannibalistic, or they would come across like Wendigos or something horrible.
It's not the trail of people getting their organs stolen and sold on in other countries?
No. It's set on the Oregon Trail.
Like the Silk Road, but for kidneys?
Like that. It's set on the Oregon Trail, which is a period of U.S. history that's exciting. That's wonderful to set movies in.
Were you saying Oregon from the beginning?
No, the movie is called Organ Trail.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Which is a play on the fact that it's the Oregon Trail. But
Okay.
you don't
It's not
find
about
out that that's where it is, because you just straight into it. You meet this family.
People on the road.
And then they get fucked up by a group of what the film calls crazy cowboys, but there are 3 of them.
Okay.
And it
A
just
trio?
turns into this weird movie that could have been a revenge plot movie where like the daughter gets revenge on all these bad guys, but instead it's just like 2 hours of nothingness, and then some people die in not scary ways.
Okay.
It kind of just misses the mark.
Right.
And so I don't recommend Organ Trail to anybody.
I'm just trying to look it up.
It's a this year movie.
Is it based on a game?
Oregon Trail is a game.
No, there's Organ Trail, a retro zombie survival game.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Okay. The fact that it's about the Oregon Trail and it's called Organ Trail, that is pretty lame.
Well, like if that was what it was and it was like really good horror, then I'd be like, yeah, that's a cool horror name for what it is. But it doesn't suit what you get.
Montana winter during the 1870s.
Yeah. Nobody harvests an organ in the entire film.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. It's called Organ Trail. You're expecting someone to cut out a heart or do something fucked up. Doesn't happen.
It's the menu all over again.
I haven't seen it, but I understand.
On my list of films where you think there should be cannibalism, but there isn't. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert for the menu.
See, I thought there was cannibalism. She asks for a cheeseburger, but doesn't eat it, does she?
No, she eats it.
Nice.
But it's just a cheeseburger.
Cool.
Even though they're in a building full of corpses that I'm sure
you could just cook that super easy.
They should be, as it were, chomping at the bit to cook those bodies up, Hannibal style.
Well.
Do you see The Killer?
Not yet.
Fuck, dude.
I know, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, I've been fucking revved up to see it, to talk about it with you.
I'm sorry. I'm a busy man.
What are you doing in the evening?
Nothing.
What, just sitting there silently?
Yeah.
Like the killer might?
Well, I've had guests. I've had things to do.
What sort of things?
Hey?
What sort of things? What are you doing?
Arts and crafts.
Yeah, but you have movies on in the
Video
background.
games. Playing music.
Well,
I've been doing a lot of that lately.
Not a fan of this. Not a fan of these interests.
I'm so sorry to let you
These
down.
interests and hobbies getting in the way of the real thing, which is media consumption.
The real thing.
That's real life.
Well, we've consumed some media today, though.
We have. We watched All the President's Men randomly. You ever seen
Nice.
that?
I have seen that.
Man, that's a slow burn. Jesus. And I love people in rooms talking about things they're slowly figuring out.
Yeah.
I love that. But even I was a bit, they're talking about it in such granular detail, the Watergate investigation, which should be fascinating. I'm actually, like they go, it's like minute by minute what they did. I'm like, I guess this is all interesting. It is Robert Redford and Gene Hackman.
Yeah. But then again, a lot of older movies, when you rewatch them, like, this is kind of boring.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. Yeah, the most fun of it is just watching how they do stuff in olden times, technology-wise. Like getting out
Faxing.
files and faxing and phones and just everything's so much harder. I'm worried Napoleon might not be good. You know what I mean?
I don't think worried is the word I would put on it. I'm more not going to be surprised if it's not good.
Yeah.
No, I'll watch it and be like, yeah, okay.
And I love Joaquin.
I love Joaquin.
pretty much anything Joaquin does. but-
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
I love me some Jacqueline. And Ridley Scott. Ridley
It's
Scott
Ridley
and
Scott, for goodness sake.
Jacqueline together.
Yeah. But then I just watched it and I'm like, this isn't clicking. And I mean, Joaquin is a funny little looking fella. And so was Napoleon by all accounts. You know, it's good
Famously.
casting.
That's what they
Famously.
say.
Baller move to just do your own accent as
Yeah.
Napoleon.
Well, also,
You're meant to do English accent for not American in the past.
I don't know why they're not just making shitty French accents.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Shitty French accents is what the public wants.
Yeah.
Oui.
At Christmas time.
It's a Christmas shitty French accent.
When I go out for my Christmas historical epic movie,
I do love that they reused the crown from Gladiator, though. That's just him with his same emperor's crown.
what?
In the trailer for
Surely
Napoleon, he's getting crowned as the emperor.
Well, no, I think France reused his crown from Gladiator. In fairness,
And it's just Joaquin with the same crown.
yeah,
He looks exactly the same. Because he is.
he kind of does, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. I'm like, okay, so it's just they're making
He's already
his
done.
character like from Gladiator.
He's already done Gladiator 2. That's happening, isn't it?
I thought so.
But it's just going to be about a different guy, probably.
I would hope
Played
so.
by Gerard Butler.
Russell Crowe's a little old. Oh, I watched. Did we talk about The Pope's Exorcist yet?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, man. Russell Crowe
Sounds dumb as hell.
doing great things. He's so old.
He's so... All right.
What did we watch today?
No more beating about the bush. We watched... So this is the 18th movie
Jesus.
that we're watching, featuring the one and only Brendan Fraser. And this is a 1996 romantic comedy drama, which...
Remove that middle bit and maybe
No, no.
even the first bit.
It's a comedy. This is a romantic comedy. And as a premise for a comedy, this is truly insane. I thought this was going to be a pretty bland, sort of lady of the manor, kind of,
Yeah.
maybe a bit of Pygmalion,
I think
kind
it
of.
attempts that, and
It does.
I think it thinks it's that.
Just, ooh, and then just slow crossfade and like, I went to the manor that summer not knowing what to expect. And then Brendan's there.
I think this film
And he
thinks
hates his
it's
dad or
like
something.
Overboard, starring Kurt Russell and
Okay.
Goldie Hawn.
Mm-hmm.
It thinks it's that,
I don't.
but it's not.
I don't know what it thinks it is.
Well,
to
because
be honest.
Overboard is a film where a rich lady falls off of her yacht and forgets herself and gets welcomed into a family of everyday a dude and his sons,
Right.
and just you're our mum,
Mm-hmm.
yay! And then she falls in love with them, obviously, and that's that movie.
Well, see, I'm glad you brought that up because Amnesia is one of my big recommendations for this movie. And people who don't know what the movie is about, that will make more sense later on.
But the fact that she doesn't have amnesia and is just
if I was giving
complicit
notes
with
on
this
this
from
movie,
the get-go.
I'd be like, guys, have you thought about doing Amnesia? Because without Amnesia, she's a psychopath.
But with amnesia, they're going to just give her this kid and she'd be like, huh?
Yeah, but like anyway.
The
Whatever.
addition of a kid is weird. Exactly, Wednesday. The fact that she's preggers at the start of the film.
Just makes everything so much heavier.
And the fact that the other chick's pregnant as well.
The other chick is pregnant. The fact that there's so many unnecessary elements that just escalate the horror thriller nature of this story. That is actually a whimsical comedy. It is directed by Richard Benjamin, whose
Two first names, green flag, beige flag. It's a beige flag. It's a flag.
Two first names. And this guy has teamed up with an amazing series of teams.
Yeah.
But didn't have a huge amount of success from what I can tell. Like he directed My Favorite Year, starring Peter O'Toole.
Jesus.
Which was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor for that role. I think
that's Peter O'Toole. He never gets not nominated.
Yeah, so that one was a hit. So that's good. Then he directed City Heat, starring Burt Reynolds and Clint Eastwood. Moderate hit. Then he directed The Money Pit, starring Tom Hanks and Shelley Long. Moderate hit. Then he did My Stepmother is an Alien.
Starring Shirley Temple.
Starring Dan Aykroyd and Kim Basinger. Failure.
From the title.
With such a strong premise. Then he did Mermaids, starring Cher, Bob Hoskins and Winona Ryder. It just about got over the line. Then Made in America, Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson. Big hit.
Yeah.
Big hit there.
Ted Danson plays the maid.
Then Milk Money with Melanie Griffith and Ed Harris. Failure.
These are just massive names, though. He's working with people.
Right? That's my point. And then he did Mrs. Winterbourne. Failure.
With bigger names.
And then he did Marcy X with Damon Wayans and Lisa Kudrow. Failure.
I would assume so.
People seem to be really annoyed that they ever saw that. Grossing $1.7 million against a $20 million budget. It's not happening. Actually, there's more hits in there than I thought there was when I initially looked at it. So, interesting guy.
But it seems to also just sort of be a downhill strike. You start on your high.
Yeah. You start on your high with your...
Which is not a great way to
your
live.
Money Pits and your Made in Americas. So I wonder where this ended up going so wrong. It's written by Lisa Maria Rodano, don't know who that is, and Fief Sutton.
It's also based on a novel.
Fief.
Did you read the title of the novel?
I'm just hovering over the name.
Fief?
Fief. Phoef.
Fief? Faif.
I blame Fief.
You're a thief of our time.
It's not their legal name.
Fief.
That was a nickname they were given. And they were like, no, that's my name now. Put the name Fief on everything. Hey, you're talking about it, aren't you? You're talking about it right now.
Fife?
Such an ugly word.
It could be Fife, though.
Yeah, based on the novel, I Married a Dead Man.
What a terrible name for a fucking novel. It sounds like one of Mum's horny books.
Well, it's a great name for a, 1948 crime novel by noted crime writer Cornell Woolrich.
Is it seriously?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's what the film feels like.
It's like, if you just think about the events of this film, this is a crime film, and it was adapted into another movie, No Man of Her Own in 1950, which is a noir crime film. And then they were like, no, this is actually a mid-90s romantic comedy with lots of soft focus and living in a nice house.
Ricky Lake's character the villain in all the other interpretations of this film, though?
I don't know.
Because that's what makes sense. If she's like the villain. If it's like orphan first kill, but instead of it being a little orphan, it's just this woman who's come in and pretending to be the dead person, like, welcome me into your home. Yes.
My suspicion, having not read that book or seen that other film, is that I think, and I mean, we'll get to this. You know what? Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Because I think if anyone is listening who hasn't seen this movie,
we get some great Brendan.
There's great. We actually, we get two Brendans.
We get two versions.
We get double the Brendan.
Brendans.
So we have to do two rankings at the end of this of which of all the Brendans would win in a fight. And I know which of these two brothers would win. Hands fucking down. I'll tell you that much right now. This movie. But Brendan is not the protagonist. The protagonist is Ricky Lake.
Everyone's
remember
favorite,
her?
Ricky Lake.
I remember that show. That show was just a staple on TV for a really long time. And she was already doing that show when this movie comes out.
Yeah, you got your fame. You got to make films.
Ricky Lake's been going for like 3 years. And I guess this wasn't really the step forward she was hoping it would be. Oh, there's a Hindi version.
That does not surprise me at all.
There's a Hindi movie based on the novel.
Ah.
We have to watch it.
No, we don't.
1971. Called Kati Patang.
Made in 71.
It was
Dude.
critically acclaimed.
That's probably good now.
We should watch that. That's the Christmas special. So Ricky Lake plays 18-year-old
Constance
Doyle from Hoboken, New Jersey.
Yeah. Constance Doyle.
Did your version of this start with the FBI warning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know why that's still on the YouTube.
Well, you can't cut it out, otherwise.
Yeah, that's illegal, isn't it?
It's illegal, yeah.
Yeah, once the FBI
Yeah.
puts their thumb...
They'll know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, a little...
It's illegal to copy this film.
But I am copying it. Like, I've rented a digital copy. Yeah, they don't know what to do about that. Yeah, if you cut that off, a little red light blinks on somewhere in Langley, Virginia. That's CIA. Anyway, and it's just like, Mrs. Winterbourne, right, title card, done. We're into the movie.
Yep.
No
I do like the way
opening
the
credits.
movie starts, though.
With a dead body.
Well, Shirley Temple at the church.
Well,
maybe not the dead body.
MacLaine?
Then.
Shirley MacLaine.
It's not Shirley Temple, is it?
No, I think that's another person.
You sure?
Yeah.
I thought she just got old.
Well,
But
Shirley Temple did get old up until she died in 2014
Yep.
at the age of 85.
After starring in Mrs. Winterbourne as the mother.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going
No
with
worries.
it. I'm going with it.
One of her greatest hits. They would have looked pretty similar in the mid-90s. Shirley MacLaine, however, still alive.
Nice.
Still kicking.
Mrs. Winterbourne.
I love
what
it.
does it.
There's always an old actor in a film like 30 years ago, and there was like, I'll be dead soon. And you're like, no, you won't. You're going to have to endure this dimension for decades longer. You won't be able to walk for most of that time, but we won't let you die because that's not our culture. No, so we open with dead, what's his name? Dead Stephen DeCunzo.
Man watching. We open with man lifelessly watching television.
Not just any television either. Mm-hmm. Tony Robbins. Lifelessly watching mid-90s. I didn't know he was going back then.
Are we supposed to know he's dead, or are we just watching him watch TV with no emotion?
Well, he doesn't look very dead, except for the 3 drops of blood on his shirt, which I eventually thought, I think they're bullet holes.
They are. In the later scene, we find out,
and he's just hella not moving. Yeah. So once again, this is the start of the romantic comedy.
Yeah.
With a dead body.
With what turns out to be a dead body.
A murdered man in a seedy motel. Like all romantic comedies start. You're already feeling light and airy. And then the Boston PD go to this church where there's bells, and they find Shirley MacLaine. She made her film debut in a Hitchcock movie.
Fuck yeah, she did.
Fuck yeah, she did. That's how bloody old she is.
The Birds?
I forget. I'm looking. The Trouble with Harry in 1955.
Cool.
Winning the Golden Globe for New Star of the Year - Actress.
Nice. That's a Teen Choice Award.
Yeah,
That's basically
that's
a Teen
50s
Choice
Teen
Award.
Choice when Golden Globe did New Star. Should be Starlet, surely.
Yeah, that would have been, yeah.
The new starlet on the scene is Shirley MacLaine. Some people say she looks like Shirley Temple, but I personally don't see it. And they're like, we're here to investigating the murder of Stephen DeCunzo. And Shirley MacLaine's like, yeah, I did that shit.
Yeah, they're like, we want to talk to Patricia Winterbourne. No, I killed him.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I did that. We'll do it
Straight up,
again.
and then cut to,
I'll kill you right now, she says.
like, she just admits to a murder, gets arrested, cut to.
Yeah.
That's
they
fucking
don't-
cool. So cool.
Cut to Ricky Lake narration.
Yeah. I left home.
It's like 6
My
months
life
earlier.
was shit.
I was born in Hoboken. Yeah. So yeah, her dad left, or her mum died. Her dad's shit.
Yeah, so she
So
leaves
sort of-
home and moves to the big city.
Is her dad still there?
I don't know. I also don't care.
Because that just occurred to me at some point of like, what about her, like her
yeah, what about
family?
her actual family?
Spoiler
that
alert:
may
her
exist?
family thinks she's dead. There's so many complications. Her family thinks she's dead, and she lets a picture of herself go in People magazine. Let's think about
maybe
that.
her dad is dead because when she gets homeless and you're pregnant, no matter how bad home life is, her home life isn't made to seem that bad.
You have to give it a shot. Yeah, did like a fairly normal house she's leaving.
You'd be like, "Hey, Daddy, I know I ran away,
But
to
then
the
she
big
can't be in
city.
that house by herself. She's
I know,
being a child.
Yeah, I know I went away to the big city and got busy.
Yeah,
But,
with some lowlifes.
yeah, with some fucking low lives. Do you want to come kill this guy with me?
Yeah, because
I know we've probably done that many times to other people.
you seem like the kind of guy who's probably killed people, and that's really rubbed off on me. That's why later
Can
on,
you teach me how?
that's why later on in this romantic comedy, I, the protagonist, am going to decide to murder the father of my child. Again, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, but that is again what happens.
A very quick decision. There's really
couldn't believe it.
really no
She says-
thought process. It's just
She's just like, yeah.
Gotta do
And
what I gotta
think-
do.
And I mean, not to have a go, but I think that is a recurring problem with Miss Connie Doyle. No thought process happening at all. You know, she's that unfortunate combination of both poor and dumb.
yes.
But also incredibly lucky.
Yeah, oh god.
Those three things together.
And for some reason, very tough as well.
And
'cause
yeah, just really brushes
fact
off
that-
that train accident.
I know. No scratches.
No scratches.
No scratches. A baby that lives.
Baby lives. That doesn't even take a physical toll on her.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to it. But yeah, dumb, stupid, and incredibly lucky. That's a recipe for a story right there.
This is basically Unbreakable.
She is unbreakable.
She's Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Is what she is. She just doesn't get to meet her Mr. Glass.
Yeah. Samuel Jackson's should have come in there. I found you. You survived the train. I did that on purpose. I do it all the
In the
time.
background of this, you see Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis just hanging out a little
fighting.
bit.
Yeah. So basically, Connie Doyle is unbreakable, and she also has infinite luck glitch.
She's got the cheat code.
She's got the cheat code for infinite luck, which is there's a great X-Files episode about that.
Infinite luck.
Yeah, where a guy has like incredible luck, but like it's bad for you in the end. Like I forget how it fucks you up, but it's like sort of like someone who can't feel pain. You know, it has all these secondary effects. So everything works out. So like he never looks when he crosses the street because he's just realized that things always work out for him, but he's like completely alone or something. Some of them Monster of the Week episodes were really cool. And some of them were incredibly dumb and stupid.
Yeah. Some luck.
But it's like an 80-20 split, I say. Until the last couple of seasons.
When it just got shit.
When it was just embarrassing to be around. So she leaves home and she goes to the Big Apple.
New York City.
Because it's the movies. And
That's where you go.
And that's the only place.
I think she says that in where
It's
do you
like-
go when you've got nowhere else to go? New York City.
Yeah. Somewhere near your home? No.
Well, it is quite close to New Jersey.
True.
You cross the river
Yeah.
to the big city.
Where everything will be different.
You don't leave Metropolis just get to the bigger part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like day one, she meets Stephen DeCunzo.
And they get fucking
Hooked up.
yeah. She gets knocked up
He's no,
because he's banging.
and she's naive.
She's just young.
Maybe you shouldn't say she's stupid, but she is naive.
Yeah, she's
Like you kind of lose track of the fact she's meant to be 18 this entire film. Still at 18, 19 by the end when she marries Brendan Fraser. Think about that. Barely months after a horrifying train accident.
Yep, that baby is
Anyway.
still baby
Anyway,
when they get married. That is a quick engagement. It's like a 2-week engagement max.
yeah. This family is out of their mind. And yeah, she basically gets hooked up with him. She's in there shitty. He sort of love bombs her and sweeps her off his feet like he presumably does a lot. And
it works.
it works. She falls through it, hook, line, and sinker. He does that classic move that always
Makes the lady swoon.
makes the lady swoon. Is when you find your business card behind their ear.
Yeah. That's how I met my first wife, actually.
Yeah. That's how we call that a closer. That's how you close the deal.
It's how you get to show people you have a business card.
Yeah.
How else would you ever show anyone that you have a business card unless you do a magic trick
I'm
with it?
so annoyed that my business card never comes up in conversation. I need to find a way to start bringing this up. And he's wearing 90s low-life fashion. Like purple shirt, black waistcoat.
Very cool.
Like a magician. And she gets pregnant and is super happy about it.
Surprising.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this is great because I have how I imagine we're going to get married and everything. And he reacts in pretty much the way you'd expect him to.
He kicks her out.
He kicks her out and is an absolute arse about it.
Yeah. What a prick.
And she loses her waitressing job because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess...
And they can't buy a bigger uniform.
Yeah, and it might seem like the 90s, but remember it's actually the 40s in this story. So she very rapidly becomes destitute in New York.
And she's 9 months pregnant, basically homeless.
It's raining.
She goes to his place, knocks on the window, and he's like, hey, I need a place to stay.
As you can see, things haven't worked out great.
You did this.
Yeah.
I just need a place to stay. I don't want anything from you, just a place to stay. And this fucktard
That's what we call him.
gives her a penny.
That's not using the R word, ladies and gentlemen. That's a different, separate word. Begins with fuck. So it's fine.
Gives her a penny and tells her to fuck off.
Yeah. Or a quarter, most likely.
What a dick.
Yeah. And he's in there with...
That's a shootable guy right there.
That is a shootable
You
guy.
can shoot that guy.
He's cruising for a shooting.
He's in there with some other broad.
Some new broad who clearly feels no solidarity with her fellow woman.
The thing. He's like, hello. And she's like, hey, I need a place to stay. And then the woman comes on. He's not here right now.
Found another dumb broad. That's not naivety.
Okay.
That's stupidity. No, it's still fine. She won't know.
But how does that woman not look out the window at another woman who's pregnant and be like, no, we got to give her let her sleep on the couch.
Yeah, no.
We can still fuck in the other room. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good and fine. But
What terrible people.
yeah. So yeah, he's evil. He's meant to be evil, and that's fine. I mean, there are depths to his evil later on that are sort of revealed. Like he has a degree of manipulative psychopathy of sort of like Ramsay Bolton level that really comes out later in the movie.
That he is like a criminal mastermind.
Which is, again, truly bizarre things to include in your romantic comedy. It's quite unsettling later on. But at this point, he's just some doofus. A cruel doofus is how I would describe him. So she's really at her wit's end. She's about to become homeless. Yeah.
She goes to Central Station.
She goes to Central Station, just sort of nosing around. And she gets sort of swept onto a train to Boston.
As you do in the 90s.
Everyone is late at the same
She gets
time.
basically led on by one of the conductors of the train. Like, right this way, madam. Right this way.
Get on the train.
Oh, this isn't the right train. What an idiot.
Well, was she even meaning to get on a train?
Yeah, I think she
'Cause she
was
can't
going to
afford
to
anything.
the subway to West Side because the homeless dude told her about the shelter.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she's like, this isn't the subway, obviously.
This is the Polar Express.
First stop, Boston, Massachusetts.
And everyone's on there getting all their stuff.
Where rich
and she's
people
like,
live.
oh, no. And so she's running away from the very old-timey ticket inspector, like real Polar Express energy coming off that guy. And she's saying, oh, my husband has my ticket to try to get away. She's sort of running away from him down the train. And who do we meet? When she gets to the bar on the train, I love that. Don't see much of that anymore.
You really don't.
She gets to the bar and of course, who's at the bar? Being cool, being chill. Brendan Fraser.
Hugh Winterbourne.
Hugh Winterbourne.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Hubert Winterbourne.
I love this guy.
Me too. Just respect him. From the get-go, you respect him.
Everything about this character, I like.
Yeah, it's effortless.
I would want to be around.
He's charming.
I would want to talk. I was charmed immediately before he even said anything. So smooth, so slick, so nice, so warm, but not weird.
No.
I was swept off my feet. I was like, I don't mind telling you, by Hugh Winterbourne.
That is a lovable guy.
And this is a new kind of Brendan we're seeing. We got glasses. He's whistling a lot. He decided to.
He did do.
I think that was Brendan's choice. Like, I think Hugh whistles. And shirt and waistcoat again, and big hair. I think this is the first time he's had big hair without being a crazy caveman type character.
Yeah, but it's nice big hair.
It's great big hair. It's sort of like,
He's grown into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's sort of like
He's
sort
also,
of like a sort of mad academic, but not in a douchey way. You know, like
it's like he could lecture at schools, but you'd want to know what he said. Like you trust what he said.
yeah, he's lecturing about the Middle East, but just telling you about the time he was there the whole time.
Nice.
That's what he does. Oh, Hugh. Love it. Anyway, he rescues her.
Yeah, he says he gives
He
her
pretends
a fake
that her
ticket
tickets are his
pretty much.
tickets and sweeps her into his compartment, which he has with his 9 months pregnant wife.
Yeah. Turns out they're both 9 months pregnant, and his wife is also lovely.
Love. Oh, isn't she just delightful?
Lovely.
Just the two. Just you ever
Just
meet,
the perfect couple.
you ever meet couples like that? And like they're just both great people, and they just both seem happy and comfortable in themselves, and they're just but like they're two positive energies, and those positive energies are feeding each other the more they are together.
They're perfect.
They're perfect,
Absolutely perfect.
lovely people, and I'm like, thank God, this is who Connie Doyle needed to meet. These people can
need
help
to be
her.
in the rest of the film.
Yes,
Be in her life.
I'm so excited.
Be wonderful. This film's going to be fantastic.
This Hugh Winterbourne, he's got a kind of spontaneity to him that I really enjoy. I don't know what he's going to do, but it's in a fun way. He's just coming off really different. She seems really nice. She's just coming back from Hong Kong. She's lived in Hong Kong her whole life, and she's only just come back to America and is about to meet Hugh's family. Wow. That's going to be interesting to see. I wonder how Connie Doyle will fit into that picture. Hugh goes back to the bar to get more drinks.
Connie and Patricia hang out for a little bit.
Yeah,
Patricia
and they
gives her a dressing gown or some nice warm
She gets her
clothes.
changed into her clothes because she got wet in the rain. She looks at her wedding ring or engagement ring, says how nice it is, so she puts that on, lets her try it on.
Yeah.
And then at that moment, that's when the film takes a real turn. That's when I sort of sat up a little bit and I was like,
You hear the beeping of the train?
Okay.
Like the horn going, and I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then the train crashes.
Then the fucking train crashes.
And
Shown entirely from inside the compartment.
which is a nice, cheaper way to do that.
And it's not like the set is turning either. It's just Ricky Lake throwing herself up against the wall and the camera turning upside down and her being like, oh, and people like throwing bags from off screen.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I understand you can't actually crash a train, but it was just very noticeable. And yeah, the train fucking crashes. And I presume everyone except her dies. You never find out how many survivors there were.
Yeah, the train crash isn't part of the story.
You
It's
find
just
out
what
no
is used
details.
to kill 2 people.
This just incredibly traumatic, worldwide news event, I would say. A packed train, New York to Boston, just derails and kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, and kills the one of 2 sons from a very, very wealthy family. That would get reported on.
Kills one of
as
the
well as
Winterbournes.
his wife and unborn child.
So
that would get reported on.
So Hugh Winterbourne, my favourite Brendan so far, quite frankly.
Yeah.
He's on screen but a minute.
And perfect.
Immediately snuffed out and dead. So that put me on the back foot for the rest of this, to be honest. I was like, well,
when he was dead,
this
before
film
we got
doesn't
to
know what
meet
it
anybody
had.
else, I was like, okay, so he's not actually dead.
well, yeah.
Both of them are somewhere else now, mistaken for somebody else, and they get to come back later.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
And I was so excited for them to come back later.
because Brendan is on the poster for this movie. But he does look different.
True, he does.
So she wakes up. So crossfade to hospital.
Starfade.
Where she, yeah, starfade, star wipe to hospital, and she wakes up 8 days later. Because that's always how that works. I don't know if you know. Whenever
The first time I was in a train accident,
If you're in a
it was
train accident-
it was 7-8 days.
car accident, any sort of horrifying event, you're never awake through any of it. You never experience the pain and any of that. You immediately black out, and then you regain consciousness 8 days later.
When you have no visible markings of a train crash.
Yes, and if you're in a coma that you haven't awoken from for a week, how you wake up is always in a room by yourself with no protection of your airway at all, just like you're asleep in bed. Everyone just leaves you in there, complete, like could drown in your own vomit at any moment, and just waits for you to slowly open your eyes. That's how it works. And she wakes up with no baby in a random hospital.
Panics.
And she is Mrs. Winterbourne now. Or she's going to be...
She's been mistaken as Mrs. Patricia Winterbourne.
No, yeah, so no, Hugh and Patricia are married, aren't they?
Hugh and Patricia are married.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
And they
why
say,
she's got the
"I
wedding
would've-"
ring that says Patricia Winterbourne on.
Because
it.
Hugh is estranged from the rest of the Winterbournes. You know why? Because he's too fucking cool.
He's so much cooler.
He's
than that.
He's so much cooler.
Except maybe Paco. He's kind of fun.
See, that's a good point. That's something we lose. Hugh is so cool and nice and is just traveling the world and actually living his life. And all the Winterbournes are just sitting around their fucking beige mansion, just living their lives with a bunch of squares. And Connie sees that. It's just like, oh, brilliant. And then that's just what life is from then on. Like Hugh...
Yeah, that's what life needed to be like in the 90s. You're not supposed to be a person out
Hugh
there.
bestows no legacy to the rest of the family. He's just... They're like, no one liked him to begin with because we all knew he was better than us, and now he's gone. So good riddance.
Yeah, but
That's
in
the attitude of the
90s,
rest of the Winterbournes, as far as I can
the
tell.
dream life was a life of privilege and nothing.
Well, yeah, and I think you need to have a bit of that added. That's not entirely true, but I think that is sort of some of the assumed attitude of the audience.
Yeah, I think the dream life should have been the dream life of privilege, but also fun.
Yeah.
If they had privilege and jet skis.
Yep.
If it was privilege and jet skis.
No watercraft of any kind.
No fun. But you don't have watercraft in Boston, I guess.
I did see the end of Loki talking to jet skis.
Too much shooting. Nice.
No idea what happened.
It's the weirdest final episode.
No idea what happened. So much of that show was them standing around on that one control deck in the same position, looking at something with different worried expressions.
Yeah.
Like that's a good 30% of the show. And then Loki puts on some weird little loafers and does something on a chair.
The loafers were weird. I was...
What was that? Boots, please.
Yeah, like the original Loki suit, please.
Gods don't wear
Also,
loafers.
I didn't like the new horns. The gold horns from the original film are still the best.
I'm okay with the horns, but gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what happened in that show.
He holds some strings now.
He's the god of
Strings.
something, and all the universes are there.
He's I don't know, weaving the spider web. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he's Madam Web now.
Yeah.
That's actually what's happened. Yeah, I think movies like this and Now and Then, I'm getting the impression from some of the other things I'm seeing written about